Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, make sure that the audio is coming through all right. Definitely getting game audio, so that's good. And the mic's working. Good, good. Because that should be everything functioning as intended.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium. We're in the middle of, like, a crossroads of stuff that's about to, kick off. That's, that's fun.
Yes.
We're a single experience point away from another skill point, so that's, that's nice. Let's see. You ask about Ruby in the village. We need to talk to Joyce about the pail without Kim, which, means we should probably send, Kim off to go, take
the body in for processing, like you probably should have done ages ago.
Yeah, yeah.
At least it works out.
Oh. I did want to check in on the shipping container, because I feel like the map saying I can go check on it. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, you should be able to, because you upped your rhetoric.
You have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Volition, you sound like you're gonna be like, but what if?
Love the I don't need this criticism right now, this chapter is closed.
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
Volition.
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast. The bullet was jacketed. These don't just lie around everywhere, do they? Turns out the bullet was an antique. Footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the Odd Souls prints on the crime scene. So far, no one has mentioned hearing the shot. Yeah. I mean...
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you. Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Got a point, Volition.
No, they didn't. Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue. True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it.
Being judged by Volition.
Volition is judging.
And Volition's completely right to do so.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it, and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now, you know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
I mean, I feel like you're getting distracted, Volition.
Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
He's just jealous. The voices are arguing again.
Motts, the voices are arguing again. Boy, do I wish there was a faster way to get up here.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things that probably should have had a fast travel attached to it. But
Like,
it's alright.
you know, fast travel to Evart's office.
Yeah.
But we can walk.
You're back before the cargo container.
Oh, it's
true.
only a 3%!
Hang on, do I?
Oh, no! Luckily, I don't see any minuses to it,
Yeah,
so...
give me a sec. Maybe I can find some rhetoric clothing.
What clothing screams rhetoric?
None of this, really.
Oh, fuck. I'm not liking your chances right now.
Oh,
wait.
We have a rhetoric shirt. Oh, yeah. White polo shirt for the win. Oh, my hat. Okay, so. That brings our rhetoric up to a astonishing 3.
Wow.
We could make it a 4.
You could make it a 4.
You're back before the cargo container.
Oh, wow.
Its draw has not lessened since you
Oh,
were last
wow.
here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Shall I give it the old college try?
You can.
And as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with a rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind.
Do we put a point into rhetoric?
Up to you. Do you want it?
I do
You're
want
back
it.
before the cargo container.
Oh!
Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. And as it's always
Damn.
Even worse. We did even
impossible
worse
to
that
open a
time.
container with a
No!
rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind.
I'm sorry, Mantis. I'm not sure that one's gonna open this playthrough.
No, I don't think it is.
It's okay. Maybe next time.
Okay. So, anything that we need Kim for? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Other than emotional support. I'm sorry, that's my emotional support lieutenant?
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, not Kim. Hang on. There we are. 3 T's. How idiomatic.
You got a skill point for that, I'd like to say.
I did get a skill point. I was 1 point away from leveling up, so... I'm not sure what the 3 T's we're looking at is supposed to be.
It would probably be easier to see in the light. It's currently dark out. It's
Yes.
probably like a bit of graffiti or something, if I had to guess.
Probably.
I don't remember. It could also be a sign, and I just can't see it again because it's dark. Oh wait, what's that?
Hang on.
What's that?
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Hold on. There's some hypnogamma in here.
The fuck is that? Drugs, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I think it added to your morale, so...
Yeah, that's +3 morale, so... Okay, so... Can I just tell Kim directly, or do I have to go all the way back to the body?
Yes?
I think we have to go back to the
Yeah, I
body.
have to go back to the body.
Well, at least it's not that far away. And it's real dark in here.
Yeah, need a flashlight. The ghosts might get you. You might be attacked by a lurking Gru.
I don't think it's that dark for a Gru to spawn, but...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
I just love the fucking horrifying claw hand that the poor body is making in there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, let's back him, Kim. Take him. This poor man.
Poor man.
All right. There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest in processing.
Ah!
Oh well, in another lifetime.
In another
I will need a little
lifetime,
help
in another
carrying him.
playthrough.
You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Well, Kim has left us.
We are without Kim.
We are unsupervised now.
Yes. You're like, let's get down to business
Oh, Joyce.
to discuss the Pale.
Joyce is going to ask me as to how I'm going to write on that clipboard, and I'm going to be like, this is my multi-tool.
Excuse me, this is my multi-tool. How dare you assume I can't use it as a pen? Oh no, did Kim leave? Oh, not Kim, Joyce. Where is Joyce? Joyce has just left. Went off.
Village on the coast office. See you there.
Oh, okay.
Joyce.
Joyce! See you on the other island, darling. Goodbye!
Darn it, Joyce.
Harry was just like, we're gonna sneak around so that Kim doesn't see me asking you questions about reality. And Joyce was like, I got the message. Drives to the other side. You both gave each other like a little wink, but you completely misunderstood what the wink was for.
Yes. Yes, though. Okay.
Aha.
I went down the wrong bridge.
It's alright.
I'll just keep the Corda Leci in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
You can get off the boat?
She can get off the boat.
Wow. I didn't think I'd ever see Joyce off the boat.
Surprise!
And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty. Hello, detective.
Hello,
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
I'm just picturing later, being like, saying to Kim, okay, when you talk to Joyce, quick to the fisherman village. Kim, the what?
Excuse me? The fisherman village. Joyce moved.
She can
moved.
do that?
She can do that. Yes.
What brings you here?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
Hey, Joyce, you have a boat. Could you sail us over to, like... Oh, Kim's not here. When Kim returns tomorrow, can you sail us over to an island nearby? I'd like to look at it.
How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
So you like it or you hate it?
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
Don't look too closely.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Oh, she's fine.
She's fine.
She's nice.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
She has a sword.
She does have a sword. It's also snowing a lot more now.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
I love
Right,
Rhetoric just be like,
this is all your
politics
fault.
time.
You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them.
And then Lillian comes over with the sword.
Don't be scared. That's just how the real city looks. Place is doomed either way.
What do you want to say?
I'm leaning on this how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of alto-cumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay.
I'm amused that Shivers knows the term alto-cumulus clouds. When we have zero encyclopedia. So if I were to ask,
vibe checked the word alto.
if I were to ask encyclopedia what alto-cumulus clouds are, encyclopedia would say clouds that are in the sky.
Clouds that are up.
Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly. It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks, and swords, tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the revolution.
Interesting.
The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Oh boy.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The island?
No, they're in Celindian, Isola.
What is an isla exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, you haven't told me.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Vivian, that's so mean.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Well, you can tell me now. I came over to ask about the pail, but...
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
No, it's fine. Kim's not here.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit.
Questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
It is, 20:36 at night. That's like, what, 8:30?
Yeah, I think so.
Now that we're alone, what is the Pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
I think it's actually 9. Am I wrong?
Could be
I'm
9. I
trying
don't
to
know.
count backwards from 24 because I don't know military time off the top of my head.
Yeah, what's the Pale?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
And what is an Isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7.
Okay.
Right, have you followed that?
I think so. So it's you found essentially continents.
Yep, continents. They're all enveloped by the Pale.
Yeah.
You don't know what the Pale is yet, but
Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
so those should sound somewhat familiar.
Yeah, at least a couple of those.
Yeah.
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Hey, so our location, our Isla, is called Isolinde.
Yes.
That's not confusing at all. Okay. And our Isla is an oceanic Isla,
Yeah.
which would make sense. We're on island, and I believe mentioned there's an archipelago.
Yeah. There's archipelago, there's a lot of water.
Okay, so that makes sense. So I don't exactly entirely get as to how that functions with the rest of the Pale, but
It's
I
alright.
think she's going to explain the Pale now.
Yeah.
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The hell do you mean by that?
You know.
Oh, it's just the edge of the map, Harry.
Yes.
Yeah. What was this like? You know, we've got a bunch of sheets of paper and we can just jump from one to the other.
Maybe.
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
Okay.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the edge of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, we have here's like Revachol, and you have ocean, and then just spikes up into the abyss. But the abyss is the Pale.
Yeah.
And it's up.
Kind of.
It's like a wall.
I don't know if it really is a wall. I the way I interpret it, and she'll get more into it, is closer to your original kind of joke that it's the edge of the map. I honestly think that's closer to what it is.
Well,
the
she
edge
describes
of the map.
it as an uproar of matter
Yes.
rising into the Pale. That gives me the impression of upward motion.
That would make sense, yeah.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
The most disco is.
The most disco.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
I love the concluded. Let's return to reality, please. What are its physical qualities? Surrounded by pale, how do you get from Isla to Isla? How much pale is there compared to the world? So, physical properties.
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
Epistemological?
If you want, I can Google that real quick.
Epistemological?
I need to see how you spell it. What a vocab word, this one.
What a vocab word indeed. Yeah.
The
Pause that.
theory of knowledge, especially in regard to its methods, validities, and scope. Epistemology, I probably mispronounced that, is the investigation of what distinguishes justified belief from opinion.
Okay.
It's a thing that defies logic. And
The
physics.
further into
And
pale you
language.
And
travel,
language.
the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
And mathematical.
Okay,
Don't forget
so-
mathematical.
You have Revachol, you have Ocean, you have Pale Wall of Death, and then you can go into the Pale Wall of Death,
Yes.
and it gets less sensible the further you go.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you
Okay.
got it. You got it.
I'm following.
You're
I'm
sussing
following.
it out.
I'm very glad that I have seen the entirety of Midst and Unend. I have a reference point to go off of. If you tell me that those three have never played Disco Elysium, I will call you a liar.
The people who made Midst and stuff,
Yes.
yeah, I would completely believe that all of them have, at least one of them, if not all of them, have played Disco Elysium. I completely would believe that. Seems straight up their alley.
Yeah, especially with the conclusion of Unend Season 1.
I need to catch up with that.
You do. Okay, so if we're surrounded by pale, how do we get from Isla to Isla? Especially if, like, traveling through one kind of causes all of reality to break down, and at a certain point, numbers stop working. How? To what extension of numbers not working are we talking about? Like, are we talking, like, full-on physics, like, get borked? And, like, suddenly gravity is equal to, like, 400 and everyone just dies?
Swoosh.
Or are we talking, like, like, oh yeah, just computers don't function, sort of, numbers don't work. You can't, plot a compass through it.
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbour. Firm. Self-evident.
You know what would be really funny?
Yeah,
If you could just start prattling to Joyce about cryptids.
that would be funny. That'd be pretty funny.
Like, sit down, like, so you've explained to me the pale, but have I explained to you the call to Mama Dakwa?
Suddenly the cryptids don't seem so far-fetched when you learn about, like, this is just an element of reality that everyone has to deal with.
Yeah. But at the same point, like, this is the edge of reality. Mm-hmm. Like, if, like, a cryptid is found near the edge of reality, okay, that would make sense, but
Yeah.
if they're inland...
If they're more inland,
like,
yeah.
there should be no, like, killer gnomes running around in the city.
Yeah.
Because that should be far too far away from the pale. Right?
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path.
What do you mean by bounce radio waves to shorten the path of the Pale? How do you condense unreality?
Radio, apparently.
You play some really good disco music. Travel
Obviously.
through space-time?
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged.
I mean, it would make sense that, like, even if you could get through the Pale once and put down a big, long cable,
Yeah.
just be like, oh, we'll just move along this cable. You know, like
Yeah.
a cable car. It's like, okay, yeah, well, you're going through unreality, so that cable might just stop existing at some point, or spontaneously spike upward at a 90-degree angle
It could be
forever.
the radio waves might essentially, it's like the radio waves casting against like the Pale. Maybe it's causing the Pale to actually have to manifest as something, because it's suddenly having a large thing, and radio waves can go very far.
Yeah.
Act on it. And it's probably
Okay.
like the best thing they got, because obviously it's very very difficult to still navigate it.
So,
you know.
so in like the example that I was like comparing to like midst,
Yeah.
this would be like the fold being pure potential,
Yes.
and that when it gets agitated, it spontaneously creates something, and those are typically terrors, because suddenly going from like essentially potential energy to kinetic energy will create vast ripples. So like,
It's a pretty close
so
comparison.
it's like you're taking something that is nothing, and then you're making it have to be something. Okay.
I don't think it's a perfect
Well,
I think,
no,
but it
obviously
is
it's-
much closer.
they're
yeah.
different
I
mechanics.
definitely think that that's the right thought pattern to have with the Pale.
As if I couldn't think of a million ways that the Pale could damage a mind. How can the Pale damage the mind?
As if you didn't just say.
Extensively.
Straight up
Some
how.
say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
Rarefied past, not rarefied matter. That's interesting. That would fit well with what the Pale Driver.
I was just about to bring that one up. I
Like-
was like about to be like, do you
'cause-
remember the Pale Driver?
because she would say that, you know, she doesn't know if these are her memories or not, but they're
Yeah.
someone's memories, and they are nice. She
Yes.
likes to visit them.
She would prefer them a little bit more than maybe her own reality right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, have you seen her reality?
Yeah, not great.
It's not great. She's currently stuck in a traffic jam. And yeah, if she wasn't stuck in a traffic jam, have you seen Revachol?
Yes.
Have you seen Martinez?
Yes.
Sucks here. Okay.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
I guess I'll just say that, Redrick. I don't know.
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
Thank you, Joyce, for explaining that. That makes much more sense. Okay.
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
6 days of Pale exposure?
6 days per year for a civilian traveler. If you wanted to go to another Isola, you could only spend 6 days in the Pale legally.
Yeah. So, Joyce, quick question. I have alcohol that has been soaked in the pail. How likely is that to cause me to time travel if I drink it? I think it's just about as likely to kill you, detective.
I think that might just kill you.
Worth a shot. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No,
You're
she
a
works
corporate
for... Yeah.
passenger.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
I'd like to say, one, the fact that she is trained
Yeah.
for that is kind of wild to think about, because like the way that you get into like the way that you train for stuff like space and deep sea expeditions is like, at least from what I understand, is that like, okay, you'd be brought down to like a certain pressure, a certain depth.
Yeah.
We now can actually do this without having to physically go under the water.
Yeah.
But like you'd be brought to a certain pressure, and you'd be like kind of allowed to acclimatize to that, and you slowly get brought back up.
Yeah.
And you go down to a deeper pressure, and then you stay in there for a while, and you slowly get brought back up. Same thing with like climbing mountains.
Yeah.
Like you spend like a long time acclimatizing.
Yeah.
Before you actually get to you're going to the top of the mountain, you're going to space, you're going to the bottom of the ocean.
I imagine it's
that
very
takes
similar, yeah.
weeks, months even. So that I imagine it would be similar to that then, and that would be like again, weeks, months of training, and she gets 22 days a year, which is like, granted, a lot more than 6.
Yes, by
but
quite
it's
a few.
not by a lot.
No. That's how dangerous the Pale is.
She's gone from less than a week to slightly over 3.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories.
Yeah.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Carried in the hulls of airships. Okay. I mean, that would make sense because we're on an island. But,
Yeah.
like, I wonder if that also would be like, that you just generally need to... You can't just drive through the Pale, that you need to float through it because it is, again, possibly a... Or in your case, a...
Yeah. Yes.
If it's an edge...
It's an edge, though.
If it's an edge of some
It
regard,
could be an edge, it could
driving
be a
into
wall.
it might
It's
just
something.
ping you straight into, like, unreality.
Exactly.
Who knows where you might end up.
That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
You better believe she is.
So, Joyce, how close to the 22 days are you this year? Because it's like February, March. Joyce, 20.
Yes.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
So even though, like, she's trained for 22 days, that's still not, like... That she should not be spending 22 days in the Pale anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What is anthroponetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Oh, wasn't that something that the Pale Driver had mentioned?
Yes.
Was the Western Plain?
I believe so, yes.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super Isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Interesting. Also, Super Isola, how big was this one?
That one must be massive to be considered a Super Isola.
Yeah. Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
Okay.
You also have to have a good amount of...
You have to have a mind for it.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if you're potentially going into something that makes and unmakes itself kind of spontaneously,
Yeah.
And it might be accumulative of memory,
Yeah.
it might make sense that one could almost attempt to will, like, reality around themselves.
That could make some sense,
Or at least
yeah.
attempt to anchor themselves
Yeah,
within
to anchor
reality.
yourself.
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale.
Yeah.
So once you cross from near Pale to far Pale, which presumably is,
the
before
deeper part of the Pale.
before you hit the numbers.
Before you hit the numbers problem.
Like, rotors and jet engines no longer add velocity, so...
They no longer work.
Well, they
do
work,
but they don't add anything.
Yeah, you just, like, at a certain point, just level out, like, completely. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, presumably then, as you know, it's about, like, the speed in which they can pierce the Pale.
Yeah.
You'd want to get as much speed as physically possible before you hit the Pale, and because, like, once you hit far Pale, like, you're just gonna stop at that speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
They're like paper airplanes.
I sure hope they're not like paper airplanes. You ever try and get a paper airplane to land in the same place twice?
Then they don't.
Dun dun.
So, do you think they just sort of ping off into nothingness, or do you think they pop out somewhere?
Popping out somewhere would make some sense. I believe that, like, either they get stuck in there forever, or they might exit sometime or somewhere else.
It's like a Bermuda Triangle.
Like a Bermuda Triangle
But everything's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world? Like, give me a ballpark number.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1.
Oh no.
There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
What do you mean slipping?
What do you think, Detective?
It's totally shrinking. There's totally more of the world popping up. We're totally not, like, slowly getting, sucked into an abyss.
There's definitely not a hole in reality in that church just
Over our shoulder.
over there.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's not extreme at all. I know it's going to happen. Cover everything. That can't be. Where would we go?
Where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
We go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Fun. let's return to reality, please. I'm not gonna fall off this
sweet
jetty.
reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing, just alcohol fumes and blackout. Sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good. A sense of who I am, but no, I don't know this. I didn't know this.
Which one you want to go with?
Sometimes I sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's disco.
It's disco.
Oh. Lend all life that we continue to persist at all as a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. No, Harry, I would like you to explain how communism is going to stop the Pale.
How do you prove communism won't stop the Pale?
A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. The Pale is anti-communist.
Yes.
I'm worried, I have to say, it doesn't sound very liberal to me. No, how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it?
What do you want to say?
I'm probably gonna go with it's terrifying.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
Handle it's under control. This investigation will be a masterpiece. With me by, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. It's under control, Joyce. Don't worry. I don't need to know about the Pale in order to answer who did a murder.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
Yeah.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
That's all. I have
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
I have a good understanding about the edge of reality now. Thank you.
So that's the Pale.
Lovely.
Ain't it lovely?
Why am I not having an existential crisis right now? Like, Volition was happy to be like, hey, have an existential crisis from leaving after talking about Ruby.
Yes. The game's just letting you, the player, have an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Over the concept of that.
There you guys are. I know I need to talk to Idiot Doom Spiral.
Tequila Sunset.
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around here lately?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
Why did I write a note to come talk to you?
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages.
The legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes and piss and a little speed to spice things up.
No, I don't think you guys have any information on Ruby.
You don't think so?
No. I literally can't even ask him. I'm not going to try asking Don't Call Abigail. Okay, so... we'll definitely want Kim around for when we look for Ruby.
Definitely.
It's
Definitely
still
want Kim.
an hour before we need to talk to Steban. Hello? Okay. Let's see, what else? Searching for vantage points will just sort of come as we progress the game.
At least the ones that you haven't gotten yet, yeah.
Yeah. And we could ask the other fishermen about Ruby, but probably should wait for Kim for that. Don't think I have anything.
You take the legal documents out
Yeah,
of the
no.
envelope.
What? I could put a point in logic
Go for it.
and finally work my way around to the white envelope.
Yeah. Do it.
You take the legal
It was
documents
logic,
out
right?
of
Yes.
the
It's
envelope.
logic.
Okay. Sometimes I forget I have an 11 perception. It really did not want me clicking that. Okay. Let's
Got
get
any other logic?
let's get dressed for logic.
Let's dress logically.
I'm not sure if dressing logically is what we're going to do. I'm not putting that on.
Ah!
Let's see. Got shirt. Got our horrible hat.
I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. You keep going.
Okay.
Can I get you anything while I'm out, or are you good?
I think I'll be okay.
Okay. BRB. Keep going though.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. Underneath all this, Lillian's signature and an empty line waiting for a signee.
Okay, so we now have a 92% chance.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 14 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Lovely. I'm so glad that the loophole is that their lives suck. What are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe. for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
That's awful. Yeah, no, that is literally terrible.
Well, you could trick Everard. Get someone random to sign the document. By the time the union boss finds out, your business here will be already concluded. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street.
Okay, so... could have someone else sign them, and then it wouldn't be valid, I guess. Keep walking into this cement room. I think I could ask him to sign it.
Tequila Sunset.
I could ask him and his pals to sign this document. Hang on. Let's put down a quick save.
Tequila Sunset. What's it about? I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
No, I do not have a pen.
I got a freebie when I purchased a whole carton of cigarettes. Smoke cigarettes, get a free pen. Deals don't come any sweeter.
The writing under the tiny crown logo reads, Royal Extra.
Thanks, Rosie.
To great service to the community, to the RCM, and to Revachol.
Hey guys, I'm a hero.
Hell yes!
Don't call Abigail!
Anything else this merry band of adventurers can do for you? Or do you need to go and mail that serious-looking document of yours? There's a mailbox on the plaza.
Mailbox Plaza, got it. Bye. Okay.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. It's signed by Lillian Carter and Idiot Doom Spiral.
I just wanted to hear it was signed by Idiot Doom Spiral. Okay. We're officially too far away to fast travel, so hang on. Okay. There's a mailbox somewhere around here. Are you a mailbox or a trash can?
The dented yellow
yes.
mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
You know, I get to use this mailbox for something.
Other than developing a personal relationship? Looks like you were right.
I hear Motts returning, so... Motts,
Hello!
you're back.
I'm back.
So I succeeded the logic check.
Excellent.
Uh,
What's the plan now?
okay, so the plan, as stated, would be that get someone else to sign it. That is not one of the residents. Theoretically invalidating it because the clear plan is that it's just going to make the people there suffer so that Evar can steal their land.
Yes.
So I asked Idiot Doom Spiral to sign the paper. He did not even remotely look at it. Ha! There's other two. Let me sign. I'll show you how a pro does it. I do feel bad that I technically still got Lillian's signature on it, but there's not much.
You invalidated it. So.
Yeah, not much I could do about that.
Yeah.
So I've got that signed. Now I'm gonna pop it in a mailbox.
Nice.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
Thanks, Logic. Okay.
Man, I feel like so many things are gonna kick off at the same time.
Yes.
In my bones, I'm feeling
Oh
it.
boy, is it dark.
Dork. Can you talk to Everett right now, or is he gonna be in goddamn bed?
He should be in bed, let's be honest. Okay, but like... It's an hour away from the meeting with Stepan. What if I just sit down on the bench for like 40 minutes?
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
I mean, we could wait an hour. We could wait a full hour. I'm not going to spend my last point. I might need that.
You might need that.
So, it should be fine if I come 7 minutes late,
It
right?
should be fine. It shouldn't catch
Think
you.
deep thoughts. Hang on, let's... Let me save the game first. Just to be completely
You sit
safe.
on the wind. You finally stop picking your nose.
That was our deep thoughts.
That was your deep thoughts.
Okay. Should we dress less as a police officer to go into a communist meeting? Or do you think they'll... Do you think they'll be okay? You know, like... What do you think?
Maybe dress down a bit. I don't know.
Look, maybe a little less... Okay, I feel like this is more suspicious.
It's more suspicious. Oh, the frog visor really, brings it all together, you know?
Well, let's see where we can get with this.
So where is this meeting?
The apartments.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, it is dark.
Dork.
Okay. Go into the apartments. Forget which apartment it's supposed to be in. Get organized.
Well, it physically can't be that door.
Yeah. Not that one either.
You know, it's probably the one with the communist stuff in it, right?
You think so?
Is that too obvious?
Yes, obviously. There's
That's
no
too
one in
obvious.
here.
No.
And it could also be on the second floor.
It could be, yeah.
I haven't broken into this room yet. Hang on. Oh, it's a bathroom.
Ah.
Okay, not that door. They're not in that room. This is... What is this, smoker's room?
I believe that's the smokers.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone...
You've already seen that door, then.
Did it give you an apartment number?
No. Or if they did, I don't remember what it is. It's not listed.
I suppose it could be the same room.
Well,
Seems less likely, but you know.
We have another balcony we can check on. The one with Sydney.
Yeah.
Hold on, we gotta go. Hi, Sydney. Oh.
I never noticed that the windows are in the eyeballs. That's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That's clever.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Catch you later, Sydney. I'm gonna go see about. This is the coal room.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this? Where are these dang communists?
Where are the communists?
Have we considered that there are no
the metal
communists?
grill, you can
It's a
hear
wild
several
goose
voices
chase.
having what appears to be an animated discussion.
Okay, I think I
Oh.
may have found the communists.
Oh, we found the communists.
This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Okay.
Man, I could go for some coffee.
Just look
Maybe
at
not
this
burnt
pig
coffee.
Sniffing about after hours.
Why didn't you say the secret door is right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
I mean, I got real good listening.
Get really good
You
hearing.
can make out at least two separate voices. Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Our options are leave or scare the ever-loving bejesus out of them.
Yeah.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
It's the police.
It's I, Maurice.
Are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists.
There is no non-suspicious answer.
Yeah.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism. I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
Disco Supernova?
Oh no. Were you given a passphrase?
Yes, it's remember. I'm glad that it's not there aren't 4 different remembers. Blessed are the sausage grinders. We await the silent mole empire. The end times cometh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way. No, they're still there. You can feel them back there.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
Thanks, Cindy.
The 2 young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
Hey guys, what you doing?
Matchboxes, it appears.
You're stacking matchboxes, I see.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's
Echo
holding.
Maker.
Careful, careful.
Aww. Aww. Okay, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Damn, hardly any difference. You're late.
Am I?
You should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
We're 20 minutes late, but some of that was conversation.
A good part of that was arguing with you guys.
And a little bit of that was looking for
Could this be the former owner of a certain jacket you acquired recently?
Oh.
I don't remember what jacket is being referred to, but you'd always ask.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly easy to find. Do you recognize this jacket?
Isn't that your jacket?
It certainly looks like my jacket, Alexis. Where did you get that, gendarme?
Found it in a room.
I just found it in a room. I hope it's not the jacket you're wearing right now.
No, I'm wearing the pinball jacket.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's real Sarah Maritzian twill. Only old Sarah Maritzian communists and drug smugglers wear those anymore.
He is neither of those, of course. He is simply a poor student putting on airs. Also, he doesn't have the shoulders to fill out such a jacket.
See, Uli? It's just like Mazovrot. How does it go again?
Those committed to the rights of property are those most apt to violate them.
I assumed it was Maurice who broke into my room to play a trick on me. I didn't think I'd actually been raided by the RCM.
I'm not RCM. I'm cool frog visor guy.
Not a cop.
Definitely haven't been
fine.
walking around constantly with a police detective directly behind me wearing a policeman's cloak.
No.
There is surprise in his voice, naturally. But is that a note of excitement you also detect?
Listen, camera, is that what it looks like? Do you sound excited to be raided by the RCM? You want your jacket back?
Absolutely not. You have to keep it. Can you imagine the look on Morris's face when he finds out the RCM has been kicking my door down?
He'll shit himself. Positively.
And now they've sent one of their agents to infiltrate our meeting.
He's getting all excited.
I don't want to infiltrate your meeting. I want to join your meeting.
The RCM wants to join us? Interesting. Does that mean you've done the reading?
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You just have to wing this one.
Oh no. Oh no. reading. Yes, I've definitely done the reading. What's this reading? I thought this was a revolutionary group. You misunderstand. I haven't mentioned any reading.
No.
One of the 30 things Sydney did not mention.
Yes.
Okay, Okay, here's my thing. I have a 2 in drama.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I have a 3 in rhetoric.
Uh-oh. Good luck.
I will succeed in no pretending I know what I'm talking about.
Ha.
Yes, a revolutionary reading group. The most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez. But it sounds like that's news to you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware this was, a communist book club.
Yes.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe he can explain himself.
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
You're hanging out.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
They are a communist book club.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
There are 3 of you in total.
They have a lot of chairs, though.
Yeah. You're telling me that anyone else comes to this, though?
Yeah.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely
They
seriously.
just come at a bad time?
Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
Don't say it's a book club.
Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano-clads yanking each other's knobs?
I swear I can square off in theory combat.
You love a good theory combat.
We have been known to get into some spirited debates, but it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
You realize they taught radical Mazovian theories in universities. Does your reading club do actually read? They get the idea?
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
Motts, can you confirm or deny this?
I went to art college. What the fuck are you asking me? I mean, at my art college, absolutely not. At my university, absolutely not.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides. We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the 2nd volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Oh no. Oh. The ADHD, it's kicking in. Oh no.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Real and Reality sounds like a good book.
Yeah.
The original Fisdale translation, not that watered-down revisionist garbage.
Obviously.
Yes, I definitely understood all of that.
Of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Ignace is such a fucking metal name. I can't get over it.
Yeah. I know who Krasmazov is, but who is this Ignace Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
I am so not spec'd for this conversation.
Yeah, you're not spec'd for the communist conversation. You have one intellect.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my gosh, this pleb.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nielsen who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Plasm, huh? Sounds like a hell of a drug. You might want to ask about it.
Yeah, that plasm.
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Did this reading group have anything to do with the lynching? Obviously not.
Obviously
Terry.
not.
So, where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
You have, like, so many chairs.
Yes.
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
Uh-huh.
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Novels. Unbelievable.
See? Even a gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Maurice and the turnips?
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do.
Counterpoint rhetoric, we make our own communism.
Make our own
You
brand
could
of
learn a
communism.
thing or two from them. If you can convince them, you're one of them.
What about Cindy? Is she part of the group?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
Well, we need to submit an essay to join this group.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
She's somewhat of an anarchist communist, but she hasn't turned in an essay, so she's not part of the group officially.
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
So Maurice isn't part of the group anymore because of the turnips?
Hang on, Savant. Well, you see... Oh, no, it's up here. I'm a bit of an economist.
That is not... Ultra-liberalism is not an economist make.
Studying macro and microeconomics.
Oh boy.
I'm still somehow equal parts communist and ultra-liberal.
How did you manage that? Those two do not work
So
together.
a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... What were his exact words, Ulex's?
I love that Harry absolutely refuses to refer to Ulysses as Ulysses.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just
He said,
Echo.
turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Is this the peach tree debate, but with turnips?
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
I still don't know what inframaterialist theory is.
Well, hold on a second. What are we actually arguing here? Are we actually arguing real turnips, or is this meant to be metaphor?
I think he was just talking about turnips.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Remind me what inframaterialist theory says about turnips again.
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops. which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
Is it the idea that, like, if, like, you are allowing, like, things to thrive a certain way, of course you're going to have better quality? Is that what it's,
I think
because, like, that would make sense. I could see that easily.
Yeah. I think that's the intention.
You're paying your workers better, they're going to, have a better yield on anything, really.
Yeah. But
as long as people care about, like, what they're doing, and if you give them a reason to care about what they're doing, they'll care about it.
Yeah. But from Maurice's perspective, they're like, if you plant a turnip and you get 3 turnips back,
Mm-hmm.
The turnips don't care what your ideology is.
The turnips don't care, but the people planting the turnips might care.
Yeah, but the thing is that the people planting and harvesting the turnips are where the problem comes, not the turnips.
Right.
Like, if the people are unmotivated and don't want to work, then you're likely to end up with a bad crop.
Mm-mm.
But if, like... but even though if they are, like, motivated and, like, happy to be farming these turnips, if the locusts get to the turnips first,
Fair enough.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
Oh no, heaven forbid people talk to each other.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen, an inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Uh-huh.
He expelled himself over an argument about turnips.
Yes.
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
Psychologizing?
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
I don't think that makes it much better, Steban.
What's so depressing about their theories?
The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
Intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change, so they must critique capitalism from inside capitalism. Okay. So, what they're saying is that all they can do is talk about it because they can't actually do anything about it.
Well, there's a lot of layers to that, whether or not, like, that's true. I don't know if I would go as far as to say intellectuals as a class. That feels like flawed thinking immediately. It also does feel like you're putting the blame off on someone else, which, of course, when it comes to systematic things, it's very difficult. You have to organize to enact change.
Yeah.
You have to, communicate and talk to people. So, talking is very important in these kinds of scenarios, but immediately saying, like, well, there is no way I can enact change is a flawed way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because that causes you to just not do anything.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong thing to do.
You know how ironic...
It's really easy to say, oh, well, that's a problem. And then just not do anything aside from say that's a problem. That's the easy way out.
Yeah. I'd like, you know how ironic it is to say, though, that, like, oh, well, like, we're having a political discussion, and it's like, oh, well, this has flawed thinking. All forms of government have flawed thinking.
Oh. Some more than others. Universally, though. Yes.
In other words,
some far more than others.
In their own relevance.
Some irrevocably more than others.
Yeah.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Sounds miserable.
That does sound
It is
miserable.
miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide.
Jeez.
You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Okay, what about these iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
Beans? Why?
Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
I mean, obviously the econ is from economics.
Economics. It's so funny, like, from the perspective of Harry playing, like, Disco Elysium, you really do feel like an outsider being, like, told, oh, you know, the beans!
Yeah, you know, the bean talk.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
They are the most bean-centric
Yes.
school of
Much
communism.
maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
I love the empathy understood what
I'm
they're talking
so
about.
glad you understood empathy.
Are the beans a metaphor?
Are the beans a metaphor?
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
Beans means money, right?
Maybe? Or maybe they are talking about literal beans.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
Every other branch of communism is just liberals with an addition to them.
What about the liberals? Are they liberals?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Go
That's
ahead.
enough bean talk.
That's enough bean talk for now.
So, what about the matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around.
Uh-huh.
It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could. With predictable results.
So, is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics.
I've got maybe a couple days left here, so can we speed that up?
But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Cool. Can I have an application for Kim so he can sit in on the next meeting?
Stefan, you can't be serious. For gendarme?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, he'll still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process.
Oh, I'm really good at interviews.
He's
Assuming he's even
so
still
good at
interested,
interviews. Harry has... Oh, Harry's gonna do so great! Oh no! Oh no!
Hang on a second.
Sure, we're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold that thought. I can prepare for composure. It's composure, right?
Composure. It's composure.
Yeah. Okay.
Conceptualization.
Here's his jacket.
Ah, yes, that's his jacket. Well, he doesn't want it back. You got those snakeskin shoes.
My snakeskin shoes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're doing really badly. We're doing super bad. Okay. Yep, that's it.
Oh no.
I could put a point in... I'm not putting a point in composure for her.
The gendarme returns. What do you
17%.
Damn.
Hey. Put down a save. I'm not going to save scum to get this.
What do
You just want to put down a save.
Is it warm in here?
Nope.
There seems to be a little pool of sweat forming in the depression of your lower back.
That didn't go so great.
No, sir.
Excellent work. Now there's a dark handprint on the back of your shirt. Everyone will be able to see the evidence of your overactive sweat glands.
Okay, so worked up. They're just a couple kids.
Let's be frank. They're probably way smarter than you.
They definitely
You
are.
bet they've read more books than you can even name.
Most of the books I can name are from that one fantasy novel series.
Yes.
The hardest part will just be working up the nerve to ask without soiling yourself.
Everything all right, gendarme? You look a little green about the gills.
Nope.
Goodbye.
Fine. Coffee.
Yeah. I think of the cracks spider webbing out across the floor. Cindy's, yeah. No war but class war. So that's a lovely poster. Under the cobblestones. Communism. Now what's this? Reflective construction vest.
Just take that
That's
right
mine
in front
now.
of them.
Impossible to miss.
That's fair.
Verify construction, road repair crews comes. Placeable battery pack. Makes you feel like a deep sea anemone. I want to see. It's
A little backpack at the back.
a little backpack. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, my cloak.
Your cloak.
Okay, well, that was awful. I'm terrible at Cindy, we need a word.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, you didn't tell me that it was a reading club.
You didn't. She thought it would be funny if she didn't tell you. I didn't know communism involved so much reading. Harry, honey. Political theory and philosophy typically does a little bit.
Yes.
Generally.
Okay. It's like 11 p.m.
You probably should go to bed.
I should go to bed. I probably don't need to have my ledger out.
It's the ledger you found in the trash.
Oh.
A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the
I know,
permeables drawer inside.
You could read it.
I
It's
know I
nailed
could still
together
read
by a
this.
clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene. followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural. Why yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDV? Could that be my name? You know your name, Harry.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Who could have imagined?
Harriet Dubois, HDB.
The next world mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lettrers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal,
Oh my.
citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
This is jumping forward in time every time we look at
The
this.
9,000
It's just taking a lot of reading.
Message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Remove the mural that is wrong, keep the mural that is right. I mean, I'm personally feeling F this mural.
Okay.
In particular. It's basically just like nihilistic, like, oh, there's no hope for anyone here. You know?
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority.
Oh,
and that
interesting.
love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
Like, epic on other nations instead. Must have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the things. Don't believe that rubbish one bit.
I'm not gonna lie, my ADHD kicked in. I didn't hear what they were talking about, so I'm being quiet.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? Next, or are we done? Not
You always
much
come
has
back.
changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Okay. It's almost midnight. I should go to bed.
The Hardy Boys have. You probably should.
Yeah. Oh no. Did I not,
Did you not pay?
for my
Oh
room?
no.
Oh no.
Do you have money?
No.
No!
I have $3. Gart, buddy, old pal.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Do you take an IOU?
Then why are you wasting my time and yours?
Oh no!
Well, I can get...
There are other ways.
Yeah, I can go to the fisherman village.
Yes.
You know. Oh. That's that's embarrassing. I know I could obviously also sell something, but I'm not sure I have much that's worth $20. You know. I definitely have some stuff.
Yes.
Well, that was horribly embarrassing.
The old woman still sits in her chair, continuing with her chores. As she does so, she quietly hums to herself.
Ma'am, it's midnight. Go to bed.
The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night.
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older. My suggestion is, don't grow any older than you already are. That's all.
Don't grow.
What's troubling your mind?
That's old enough. You can stop now.
Is that free room still available? Because I appear to have horrendously mismanaged my finances.
Changed your mind, did you? I thought you might. Won't find a better deal than free. Don't make this old woman regret giving the police the key to her house. Here.
Thank you. You're a saint, have I mentioned?
She really is a
Has
saint.
seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
There's stuff to look at.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
We
You could shave if you want to.
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy.
Oh, shut up, physical instrument.
Shut up,
Nope.
physical instrument. But we're not shaving off the stash.
Yeah.
A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
No, we shall not. This is part of who we are.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
My new hangout. My foreign base for the coastal part of the operation. It's free, that's good enough. I could live here. Possible resting spot for my fugitive is what it is. Looks my new home. Wonder where the old one went.
Westward, across the canal, towers the whirling in rags. Door number 1 on the second floor is locked. Behind it lies a trashed room. 1 floor below, behind a counter, stands an irritable man. In a small shack in the fishing village, a baroque heater hums quietly, emanating a sense of comforting warmth. A wash basin lies on the table, the water inside reflecting the somber face of the world. Far away, on the corner of Petition and the Main, a nondescript building, obscured in a haze. It's vacant and lost, just like its tenant.
Could you imagine if we
Yeah.
saw Kim again shaven?
Oh gosh, I feel like Kim would be like, what the fuck?
I feel like Kim would draw on us, clearly assuming that we're some sort of body snatcher. After we've spent multiple days filling his head with cryptids.
Oh, poor Kim.
Thank you, Strange Sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
Well, that's ominous. Oh, a jacket. Should I steal her jacket?
I'm sure she won't.
This jacket comes with more logic.
A logical jacket.
I don't think this jacket comes with logic, though. Swanky checker jacket flowers your form in a way that makes you feel the fun kind of serious.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it.
Oh no.
Adorned with the expression.
Interesting. Is it because we have an encyclopedia? This one's also locked, though.
Yeah.
There's minimums. Interesting. Presumably, if we had more electrochemistry and obviously any amount of encyclopedia,
yes,
we could actually, like, attempt these. Actually, I think this one might be from the other mirror.
That could be from the other mirror.
Interesting. Or maybe we had attempted
the bed
that
is
earlier.
comforting.
It didn't
if a bit run
work
down.
out then.
Still,
Oh no, it's midnight.
you've earned a rest.
Oh gosh, it's midnight.
Harry, quick, go to bed. Go to bed, Harry.
Underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Great, this is gonna be real chill. Dark sure. I know what this is.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
Helped? Maybe. Saved? Yeah, I'm not sure I can say I saved anyone.
You haven't killed anyone,
I haven't
though,
killed
so
anyone.
that's good.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about it.
Don't care, that doesn't scare me. Okay, so I'm a murderer and that's bad.
And that's bad. Very bad.
Or shall I just want to sleep? Mm-mm. What to go with? I'm kinda tempted on the sorry murder and that's bad.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Much worse than murder?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
It's too scary.
They're
Too
right.
scary.
This is their function. To keep you from it.
Oh, thank you, Volition.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
In the air will smell of apricots, face forms in summertime.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Doesn't sound like it'll be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Don't say that, Inland Empire. Look how great
You
we're
okay,
doing.
buddy?
Look so happy. So motivated, so doing okay.
What's
Yeah.
Kim gonna think when we come in from, like, the other direction?
Yeah.
Oh!
frick.
No, he found us!
Hi, Kim. Hi, this is awkward.
Yes?
He just found you!
Oh, hey.
Proof he's a much better detective than anyone.
I can try this, logic one again. Hang on a second. Okay. Got our
Yes?
logic stuff on.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
That can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
We do argue with our necktie a bunch. Kim, what if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm an F-up?
I've considered it.
So it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why's that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Do you really see me as a safe bet? As you are their finest.
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought. Now let it go.
That's nice to have resolved. I found out what the Pale is while you were gone.
Wonderful. What is your takeaway?
Were you not surprised?
I can't stop a grown man from learning about the fundamental geographic and anthropogenic features of our world, can I?
Perhaps I should have tried, he thinks.
I think it's terrifying. It seems unreal. Super cool with all of it. Where are we? It seems unreal.
It all seems unreal, detective. In actuality, the Pale is no more unreal than, say, water or death. Or that we are stuck behind our eyes, between our own ears, talking. Excuse me, large topics are not my forte. You seem stable enough. Keep it that way. Now, was there anything else, or should we get to it?
No, that's it. Find my cloak again. Rock cat. Okay. Well. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get through that into that cargo container. But we might be able to talk to Edvard, which means we might actually be able to get our gun back. We talk around here about Ruby. Okay. I think I might stop here, though. I think this might be a good place. Start of the new day. Day 5. Can ask around and hopefully get our gun back from Edvard, or at least he can steer us in the right direction. Find Ruby, talk to Ruby, solve the murders, go out for drinks. No drinks. Go out for karaoke. Drag Kim to karaoke. I guess that's gonna have to do it for that then. I hope you've enjoyed. And we'll be back next week for the hunt for Ruby, really. And when that's settled, we can hopefully wrap the case up. I feel like we're not at the end of the game, because I feel like there's still too many inconsistencies for it to wrap up smoothly. I guess we'll be finding out that as we progress. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.